And we are live. I fucked up. Here we go.
And this is Stu.
Right.
Hello.
I'm trying to move my face over, but it's not working. Here we go.
Okay.
And we are live. I'm Cole Clayton, and with me I have
Kyle
Stu from Stu News. Stuart Allard. Is that how I pronounce it? Allard?
Stuart Allard, yes.
Stuart Allard. And my buddy Kyle Petrila from Stu. You're from Chicago, right?
Correct, yes.
All right, so Middle America, and Kyle is coming from Lebronto, Canada, because he gets dominated in every sport. His town does, at least. So Stu, tell us about yourself, man.
So let's see. I have been working on this Facebook comedy page called Stu News for going on 11 years. Initially, it started out as just jokes that I would write as like status updates, and then someone I knew at the IO Theater in Chicago suggested, "Hey, I think there's a way we can monetize this." So initially, or at least for a time, I was posting jokes on the IO alumni Facebook page, and then after a few weeks, I was spun off to my own page. Basically, they're late night style monologue jokes, one sentence summary of a current news story, and then some wise ass remark about it. And I've been, basically posting a joke, let's say 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week for going on 11 years. And you can also find me on Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky.
So those are like Jerry Seinfeld numbers you're putting up there. You write one joke every single day.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's a well-toned muscle.
It's vaguely sexual. I like it.
My comedy member is on fire.
You're not the only one that can write jokes, sir.
Right. Well, I prefer to date women my age. So.
Me too. What?
Well, we're talking Seinfeld.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was like, I forgot. He's such a legend that you forget all the bad things he does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what legendary status gets you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have to be a legend now. That's it.
All right. No, don't become a legend, Kyle, on that. This is going off the rails. What the fuck about? So how'd you get into comedy in the first place?
Oh, good question. I suppose maybe I've always had an interest in it. I guess my first taste of comedy in any way, shape, or form was, of all things, a show that aired on PBS in the late 1980s called Square One TV. And Square One TV used sketch comedy to teach math, like the basic concepts of algebra, like elementary school and early junior high math. But really, for me, it was just more like, oh, there's something different going on every 2 or 3 minutes, and they were doing parodies of TV shows and their musical numbers and sort of this and that. And I would say that's where it was at the very formative. And then when I was in grade school, I found Monty Python, the first 5 years of SNL, Simpsons, I would say, were a huge influence, Mad Magazine. However, as far as actual comedy training or anything like that, I started the Second City Training Center in Chicago, as it happens, 15 years ago this month, May 2009. Did the basic improv training center program there. Then I was persuaded by a few of my classmates, to do the training center at IO after we graduated. Not only did I finish the program at IO, but I also did the writing program at IO. I built some writing connections there. That was basically kind of what moved Stu News into motion, into existence. I have an extensive background of writing sketch as well as writing topical humor. I hate to say that outside of writing jokes, I have not been nearly as consistent as I was before COVID. That in itself is a long story, but I'm trying to get my feet wet again.
I think I think the world's just different after the shutdown, because it's I feel like I know a lot of comics that are pivoting to content creation. Which,
yes.
I mean, that's kind of what you're doing as well. you know, with Stu News, and we'll get onto that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. I kind of got away from doing stand up myself. I would like to get back into it, but I'm a single dad. You know, I have a lot going on. I have to work and stuff. And then by the end of the day, when stand up usually dictates it's time to do stand up, I'm tired. You know, I'm like, I'm fucking ready to be home. You know, so there's nothing wrong with.
I have multiple hustles. I mean, I have like 2 or 3 part-time jobs. So no, I absolutely get it.
Which is the other thing that happened after the shutdown is everybody has to work, you know, like 80 hours to afford their apartment, you know, so.
Yeah, I'm also taking a time off stand-up, so it's just funny. It's just like, oh, fuck it. But
pretty much, yeah. I mean, I feel like it is a good time to like gather yourself and maybe focus on the writing aspect of stand-up right now, you know, rather than the performance. So.
I like that you guys are like, oh, after work all day, I'm tired, I can't do it. And it's like, well, after doing nothing all day, stand-up's the last thing I want to do. But were those educational sketches, were they good? Like,
I'd say a fair number of them were pretty good. Like, I mean, they did I would say it's grade school humor, so it has to be clean. Some of it is like a little corny. Like they did a parody of Late Night with David Letterman called Late Day with David Numberman.
See, that's like clever for that purpose, and I guess
that's clever for a 9-year-old. Yes,
algebra, but like, yeah,
it's definitely got like a Sesame Street vibe to it.
Yeah. No, well, that's probably what it's more. No, I was just interested because that's probably. See, that's funny because it probably like didn't teach you anything, but like. But like they probably like gotten rid of that now, and the kids are bored and stupid now. So like I don't know why they.
Maybe I mean it ran for like I want to say like 6 years.
Yeah, but the math didn't change. Like they can fucking.
That's true. That's true. I mean they tried to make algebra entertaining.
Bro, so you did 6 years of educational comedy for kids. Those kids are pretty much adults now. Now, does that make you sad? That fact?
I mean, I'm an adult. I mean, and I was probably younger in the audience.
How old? I'm just saying, like, how old we all get, you know, so quickly.
I mean, I'm turning 40 in August, man. I mean,
I just did that. It's terrible.
It is, yeah. Just like everything just goes like, right down the shit. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
I just turned 30, so I'm not that bad yet.
So shut up, Cole.
I just like stunting on people who are older than me because I'm old. You know, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so like all of my siblings have been since April when I turned 30. They're like, "You old ass bastard! Oh, you're 30. You need your walker." So I got to give it to you guys, you know. So because I'm just like shat on all day long, every day. So.
Back in my day, we had these devices called VCRs. And there
I'm the only one.
Boxes, and you put
I'm the only one of my mom's children.
And play a movie.
I'm the only one of my mom's children that remembers before the internet, you know. So. I had to explain to them what a VCR was like, and these are grown adults, by the way. And I'm like, you don't know what that is? And they're like, no. We had DVDs, which wasn't long, but all right. Anyway, let's pivot away from my sad life. How did you? What was it like? What when you decided to do sketches for the first time? Like, how did that go? Like, was that a conversation you had with friends and other comics, or were you just like, I'm going to do this?
Oh, goodness. So I think the first time that I actually like tried writing comedy was in college. And by happenstance, I happened to strike up a conversation with someone in a discussion board on a now defunct website called TV.com. I was a moderator and an editor on the site, and we had mutual interest in comedy, and we discovered, hey, we both go to Illinois State University. So on maybe 9 minutes notice, we ended up meeting for coffee, and we talked about sitcoms they were both interested in, mutual interest in comedy, that sort of thing. and we ended up collaborating on a TV series that we produced through the TV station at Illinois State. We were both comm majors. My focus was radio. His focus was TV production. And over the course of about a year and change, we produced 4 half-hour episodes of this, I guess you would call a sitcom. But I guess the idea of doing sketch had always been in the back of my mind. I had started doing improv a couple of years, well, not improv, but stand-up a couple of years before that, just doing the occasional open mic, trying to come up with new material each time that I was at the open mic. So that's kind of where I got the whole thing of like, not doing the same 5 minutes to death. And especially with topical humor tends to have a short shelf life as it is. It's just like, something that was like funny and clever 2 weeks ago is probably just going to be stale now. But I digress. So I suppose I was more interested in improv for a while. And then when I was at IO, because my parents were footing the bill for classes, I basically I was interested in taking the writing program there, and under the condition that they would pay for improv, I would pay for the writing classes. The writing classes were taught by, at the time, by a man named Nate Herman. Nate Herman was a writer on Saturday Night Live from 1981 to 1985. He was basically there for the Eddie Murphy years. It was during this weird period when Lorne Michaels had left the show. Lorne Michaels left for 5 years. He was gone from 80 to 85 and then came back. So Dick Ebersol, who went on to run NBC Sports, was the showrunner. For one thing is that I've always been fascinated by Saturday Night Live. So it's like, and Nate is a font of stories. Just because of all the, the celebrities that he met, all the musicians that he met, it was like, he had nothing but kind things to say about like Eddie Murphy and Billy Crystal and some of the other people that were there in the early 80s. But in a lot of ways, he was also my sketch mentor. Because he basically, explained to me like kind of like how to structure a sketch, how to basically write a packet if you were to get a TV job writing a sketch comedy. That has not materialized for me, but at the same time, it's holding out hope.
For sure, man. Like,
for sure.
I mean, there's never like, it's never too late, really. Honestly, I don't know. Like, some people think this whole, it's a young man's game and all that. If you think about it, like, who's the guy that did Kylo Ren?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, dude, was like almost 40 years old when he got that role. You know what I mean? This big break, and now he's in a bunch of shit. He just did Ferrari. He did that one about the Gucci family. He's a brilliant actor. So like, like we can all. And this Samuel L. Jackson, I don't think he was even in his first movie until he was in his 40s. You know what I mean?
William Shakespeare was almost 500 before his first movie was made.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And Jesus had to wait even longer.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. So yeah, there's a lot of people with stories. Like what's her face? I don't really remember her name. Leslie Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like the oldest first year cast member ever. She was like already like in her late 40s when she was hired.
Yeah, she's like 50 now. And like
she's like 55. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, it took 30 years for my overnight success. And like, I understand that. There's a lot of people like Vin Diesel, and he made one good movie 18 times. And then, but like, and they say, well, Rodney Dangerfield came around at 65 or some shit. Apparently he had some under his real name. He did do some stuff like a little earlier under his like real name. So, but yeah, there's always a chance, especially for SNL. Like, look how like Will Ferrell, like he was in his 40s at least.
I want to say he was about 30 when he first joined the cast. Daryl Hammond was 40 when he first joined, though.
Will Ferrell just looks old. That's all it is. He's always looked old.
I didn't realize.
For sure, but he just always he came out the womb looking 35. So
yeah. There was, I mean, even a sketch where he was basically born at 35.
Yeah.
Like the baby dude sketch. I don't know if anyone remembers the baby dude sketch. Like,
That's kind of funny. I didn't know that.
let's give me a beer, man.
I also had a question for so you never like worked on your solid 5. Like you kept do you feel like that's like a good thing or a bad thing?
Being called out. Shit.
No,
Okay. All right. Yeah. I
Is
think
it a
at one
good
point I
thing?
did
No,
have
because
a good 5.
I'm
At
very
one point.
no, but you know what I mean. You didn't develop your like 15 as hard as like others, and that's something that I'm like I don't do either, and that's why I wanted to know. I'm like, how do you find that it is beneficial or hurts you a bit? Because I'm like I'm kind of back and forth because I do different jokes because I get bored, like. So I just like, but then if I had spent the time to get really strong set, maybe it would be more beneficial, but it's just less entertaining for me. So I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong, Kyle. I mean, I probably should be doing more open mics.
I never suggest anybody do open mics, but go.
Yes. I guess I have several reasons for why I don't do open mics. One is I don't like cocaine. 2, I don't know if I'm too old to be hitting on the 23-year-old girls or I'm too young. Yeah. Thirdly, it's like I never really figured out crowd work. It's like at some point, maybe if there's like a lull in the set, I'm probably going to just go look at the audience and say, so, hey, is anyone here from North Korea? Anyone here born with a tail?
You know what crowd work it is? Because I excel at crowd work more than I do at actually telling jokes. I actually suck at telling jokes. Because I have ADHD and whatnot, so I just like get sidetracked easily. But crowd work is just like treating everybody like they're your friend. Like you would like spill the gossip or whatever, or kind of chit chat, go back and forth. So if you treat it like that, you'll have a lot more fun doing it, I think.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for the tip.
Not to mansplain you necessarily, but
no, not necessarily. No, I appreciate
it's just advice when it's another man.
Yeah. Usually I ask if you want my advice, but I don't know.
30-year-olds mentoring 40-year-olds. I get it. It's like the opposite of the Big Brother program.
Like I said, I suck at telling jokes, so like don't listen. Take it with a grain of salt.
But... This is just like an elder company now or some shit, right? Like he's like giving back to his elders, or
oh yes,
it's elder care.
I'm a brother. I'm a big brother of 6. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. I don't.
I've heard about some I've met some of your siblings. Nothing to brag about.
I didn't raise them.
You kind of did.
Well, let's keep that on hammered and cheese, okay?
You're basically the auxiliary dad.
Yeah. Well, no.
None of their fathers stayed around, so technically, I was like the stand-in a way. But that, like I said, let's keep that to hammered and cheese. Let's keep that to my drunk show. All right. Why am I getting DMs right now of all times? Let's talk about the main event. What is it?
Right, so this is a sketch I
wrote.
This is with a collaborator of mine named Brandon Wright. We made this at his apartment in Rogers Park in Chicago in actually just before Halloween 2012. He wanted to do something Halloween themed, something scary. He's always experimenting. And I've been doing a bit in improv where I was playing like a zombie. So I figured, okay, I could probably piece something together that's like a parody of those like cheesy like ambulance chaser commercials that air in like in the mid-afternoon. And then at the time I was on an improv team called the War Room, and there were 4 of us. It was Brandon and I plus Chris Fair of the Laser Comedy Show fame, and Steph Jacobson, who has become a well-respected member of the improv family in New York. So the 4 of us shot all of this in a couple of hours. I believe it was Steph who did the makeup in all of this. But yeah, we try to throw in as many zombie movie cliches into this as possible.
Okay. I'm interested. This is gonna be like The Walking Dead, but maybe Better Call Saul, it sounds like.
Do you feel like a second-class citizen tired of the negative portrayal of zombies? I am here to help. If you don't believe me, listen to my podcast. Money.
Hi, my name is Brandon Wright, and I've been through a lot of legal trouble. But Romero and Ramey, they really helped me out.
The offices of Romero and Ramey at 3-1-2-5 zombie. I'll fight for you.
That is hilarious.
Thank you.
I was a fan of the human.
I didn't really understand what the lawyer was saying. Everybody else, I kind of could tell. Were you the lawyer?
Yes.
I couldn't understand what he was saying the entire time. I'm like, I'm trying. I was trying so hard.
It was just like the normal prattle that like some lawyer would say, just fighting discrimination cases, anti-zombie discrimination cases. It's like no money down, that sort of thing. Just all the law ads, cliches. I don't have the exact script here with me. Sorry, it's on a Microsoft Word. It's on a flash drive somewhere.
It was funny. Like it was. I feel like I missed something when he was talking, but it was like legitimately funny because I'm like, this dude is just grunting, and that actually made me laugh. Like, I know I missed the joke for sure, but I'm also just hard of hearing. So,
no,
like,
at first I was up, but it did get a little less clear partway through. But
all right, so good cop, interpretive dancer. What do we have here?
All right, so this is a so after doing Second City and IO, I was accepted into the conservatory program at Second City, the so-called grad school of improv, and it culminated in a sketch review that ran for 4 weeks. I graduated in, I believe it was October of 2013. There were 10 of us. Interesting group of people. One of my classmates started her own improv theater in the Denver suburbs. One of my other classmates was Dwayne Perkins, who went on to write for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Amber Ruffin, and Michelle Wolf. And then another person in my class was Calvin Evans. Basically wanted to become, I would say he's doing pretty decent as a stand-up comic. He's had a couple of those like mini Netflix specials, like those like half-hour like Netflix thingies. And he's also a touring stand-up comedian. Brad Rickard, I was also in that class. He's doing stand-up in New York now. So anyway, this was the one sketch that I wrote, or at least that I mostly wrote, that made it into our graduation sketch review. And normally when Second City records these, most for posterity, it's a static camera in the back of the room. It's kind of blurry. The audio isn't that great. So I actually wanted to turn this idea basically into a full-fledged short film. So about 6 months after we graduated, we shot this in the basement of the Bug House Theater in Chicago.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. So this has a lot of clout to it. I dig it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This features Dwayne and Brad. They found your fingerprints on the gun.
Pretty impossible considering I didn't touch it.
You know, you seem like a nice kid. I'd hate to see you do 20 to 25 years in maximum.
I didn't do it.
I'm sure you didn't do it, but at the same time, you gotta talk.
Not saying anything. Not an idiot.
I'll bring in my partner. Right? Let's talk.
All right, I did it.
I would talk too, like for the record, because like I was like, I don't know about all this. Like, don't let that guy come back in here. Like, just whatever. Like, it's like a preview to prison. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
That's the
want.
shit he didn't do. Just
Right? Like, does it have to be 20 to 25? Like, can we? As long as you don't bring him in here, I'll do a nickel. Okay, like.
So that was your thesis piece, even if you want to call it, give it a name, I guess.
I guess you could call it that. Yes, this was because basically the whole program was set up to work up to a 45-minute sketch review that was entirely collaborative, entirely written by and starring the people in your class.
So was the original video like was it trash or like you said that it was.
I want to say it's somewhere on Vimeo, but it's part of but it's just one 45-minute clip of the entire review.
Yeah. Because you said you reshot this, right? No? Is this
that was the reshoot, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Angie.
Angie says, cheers, Cole, Kyle, and Stu. Hey, Angie, how you doing? All right, so, and then we have one more from you. Let me pull it up real quick.
Mm-hmm. So this is a more recent effort. So the first two clips that I showed to you were made in 2012 and 2014, respectively. This I made about a little over a year ago. So even though Brandon has moved out of Chicago, he now lives in Austin, Texas. He has a wife. He has a kid. We've stayed in touch. And on a couple of occasions, we've had the opportunity to collaborate again. He ended up directing a feature-length movie in 2018 called The Bobzilla, which is available on Amazon Prime. I have a small part in it. To date, my only feature-length movie. Again, I only have the one scene, but I can still probably say, hey, I was in a movie. But then winter of 23, Brandon reached out asking, hey, I'm itching to work with you again. I don't know if you had any ideas for like a short film, any sketch ideas, anything like that. Brandon now has a bunch of ties in the Austin improv community, and we spitballed a few ideas, and I did have an idea for something that was like something that was kind of like in the Christopher Guest vein, something where it's like there's a plot structure, but it's semi-improvised. And Brandon put out a feeler for some people that were in the local improv scene, and those the people that we were able to book are in this scene here. This was shot entirely at the Fallout Theater in downtown Austin. Lovely little space. I feel it's a little more dry than some other stuff that I've written and collaborated on, but I like how it came out.
I actually really enjoyed dry humor. I'm probably one of the few younger people. I'm really stretching that word young. But like millennials, maybe Gen Z, people that enjoy dry humor. I think my generation is just too stupid to get it. Like, let's check it out.
It's muted.
I want to call it the Oki Yogi, but Brandon thought it'd be easier if to find it online if we just call it guest yoga instructor. You'll see why we call it the Oki Yogi.
The Oki Yogi. I like that name better. The Oki Yogi. I dig the name.
All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Introduction to Yoga. So Sarah is out today. I'm Kurt. Oh, y'all barefoot. Okay, so yeah, I'm just doing this in my socks, but I'll take them off if you like. I hope you like these socks. I got them 6 for $12 at the Walmart on Taft and Spopa. No, I like to be right smack in the middle of things. When it comes to teaching, I lead by example. All right. All right, anyone here got any injuries? We got like anyone who has like a pulled hammy or like a shoulder injury or anything?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fingernails.
Fingernails? Okay, yeah, thanks for the heads up on fingernails. I may not get it.
My suffering from. There we go.
All right, so let's start into some poses.
Sorry, what were we just
Why
chanting?
am I
Oh,
lagging?
Boomer Sooner. Hey, and University of Oklahoma.
Like I said, in theory.
Fans here? All right, anyway. All right, so let's get into
Damn buffering.
I know. I'm like connected to my router too.
First pose.
Guys, I was telling Kyle.
And do your spider finger.
All right.
We have to stop it here. I
Let's
understand.
start into some poses.
Sorry, what were we just chanting?
No, that's okay.
Oh.
May just have to pull it back up. Remove. Bring it back.
It actually is doing it better than.
Anyway, welcome to Sketched Out. I'm Stuart Allard.
We've had this problem pretty badly the last few episodes, but I finally had it set up to where I'm like connected right to my router. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a Wi-Fi issue, and now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least it's not like Microsoft Edge or something.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna say there's still people that are so stubborn about still using IE.
Poses.
IE? Really?
Internet Explorer, yeah.
Who?
Oh, Boomer
Boomer.
Sooner. Hey.
Gotta be.
And Introduction to Yoga. So Sarah's out today. I'm Kurt. Oh, y'all.
Jesus. Maybe if I reload the whole thing. Trying to get it, Stu. I'm sorry.
Oh, all good. All good. It's probably for the best. You know, just it was probably the closest I've come to having graphic nudity in a film. So.
Well, now I want to see it.
Oh no! It just the fact that I was barefoot. That's all.
Quentin Tarantino film. I like it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, except I'm not nearly as pretty as Andy McDowell's daughter. So
she is pretty hot, right?
I suppose.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Come on,
oh, okay. Like the girl from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
There's like a bunch of them. I don't know.
Oh, the brunette. Not Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think her name is Margaret Twilley or something. Peg Twilley. All right. Anyway, that was a tangent.
Was she barefoot in that movie?
Oh yeah. She's the one who's like going up and down the swing set.
The hippie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So of course she would be barefoot.
Mm.
There we go. All right. Reloaded, like the Matrix.
But hopefully better than the Matrix Reloaded.
Which one was that? Matrix Reloaded.
The
Is that the
second
fourth
one.
one? Oh.
Right, because I think it was Matrix, then Reloaded, then Revolutions, and then
God awful.
Yeah, no, the first one was amazing. The rest of them I never really got into. To be honest.
I was told the fourth one is actually okay.
I never wanted. I was like,
I'm very
like
wary about this fifth
people-
one that's coming out next year, though.
Are we making another one? Oh.
They're making a Matrix 5, and there's no Wachowskis in this one. It's just it's going to be Carrie-Anne Moss, and a new writer and director.
Keanu needs to just stick to John Wick. Yeah, no, I'm just not a fan of sequels like that are like take a decade, unless there's like a reason for it to happen, which I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But
I believe
there's
they call
never a
them
reason for that, you know.
Legacy sequels.
Cash grab.
Legacy sequels.
Well, they're making
Legacy sequels, yeah.
28 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, they are
that's-
making 28 years later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he signed on. So
That
that's
might be kind of good though, because it's like a zombie thing. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
But
Yeah, if you think things are going badly after 28 days later, imagine how it is 3 decades later.
right. You assume they're all dead by then, but all right, let's try this now. Here we go.
All right, hi everybody. So Sarah's out today. I'm Kurt. Oh, y'all barefoot. Okay, so yeah, I'm just doing this in my socks, but I'll take them off if you like. I hope you like these socks. I got them 6 for $12 at the Walmart on Taft and Squopa. No, I like to be right smack in the middle of things, teaching. All right. All right, anyone here got any injuries? We got like anyone who has like a pulled hammy or like a shoulder injury or anything?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fingernails.
Fingernails? Okay, yeah, thanks for the heads up on fingernails. I mean, I get it. All right, so let's go. Oh, Boomer Sooner. Hey, and any University of Oklahoma fans here?
No.
Anyway,
Not working.
all right, so let's get into that first pose and do your spider fingers up to the end here, and then get up like this. All right. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and breathe. Yeah, I mean, you all know how to breathe. Oh, and the child's pose. That's not the child's pose? Oh, all right. All right, hold on. Alfred. I'm not someone who has 20 years of, teaching and training. I didn't get to go to India or anything like that. 2 years ago, I was a forklift operator, and I got laid off by Caterpillar, and bad place, and I just kind of took it on a whim. I decided to take a yoga class at the Park District. I mean, I get that you're used to a more sophisticated style. We just get through some more moves or poses, what have you, and hey, maybe you're going to find something about yourself. Okay.
Show us the Oki way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got you on board. All right. So let's get into tree pose. So let's get on our feet. Feet are at about. Let's make sure we're also kind of sideways too. So facing this direction, we are going to lift our left leg up and okay. Well, I'm getting into it. Jeez, man. Mallory. All right. What I'm seeing so far. Okay. Good. Having a chance to check in with everybody because of Mallory.
Yeah, we love it.
I just got off a bus from Sepulpa. Whew. All right, y'all feeling the burn? have your left arm reach down to your knee. Okay, and then maybe even go like a little further behind the foot. There we are. Okay, I bet you're feeling that burn now. Inhale and exhale. Don't forget to breathe.
Oh, she was even better.
Just kind of rest your body here. It's all right. Pay attention to how you inhale and exhale. Are you looking for joy? Are you looking for peace? Are you just looking for a good burger? Don't lose sight of that.
We should have a beef and cheddar.
Prostrate. Yeah, I know. I'm using one of your fancy pants words now. Boomers. All right. So who wants to go get a beer? Okay.
I'm gonna be best class.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey, and you're a good student.
Thank
Hey,
you so much.
thank you. See, I'm glad I turned you around. Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get
I know it's iPhone 2 blocks down. Oh. Thanks, Reg. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Oh.
Thank you so much, Kurt.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome, Emily.
Good, all of it. Thanks for all of it.
No, I appreciate it, Joy.
I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely, Emily. That means so much.
Wow, I'm so
Yeah.
inspired. Thank you for changing my life.
Thank you. Thank you. Not my stay. Boomers.
Joy was really giving you the eyes at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
You getting some fuck me eyes for sure.
That Oklahoma charm, you know?
That was hilarious. This is like blue collar yoga. Like,
Yep.
Kyle, you're big into yoga, right?
No.
A little bit. I mean,
Oh.
I took some classes here and there. I had to make sure I did my research, though.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know, man. I'm not a yoga guy at all. I dated the mother of my child is a big yoga person, but we somehow lived together for 7 years, had a child together, and I never picked up on anything. I just watched. I was like, yeah, this is a good, I don't know, cool pose or whatever. It's interesting. You know what I mean? Like while being drunk and fat. So no surprise why she left me.
I mean,
that didn't work
I
out.
get it.
So Kyle, you're not into yoga. I feel like you would be a yoga guy of all the people I know.
They don't have a mat big enough for me, man.
I feel like that's the same excuse I would use.
Yeah, well, use it because yoga's terrible. No, it's like it's hard.
I was gonna say, how tall are you, Kyle?
I'm 6'6".
You're 6'6".
Yeah, he's
Did you play
ridiculous.
bull on night court?
Sorry?
Did you play bull on night court?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking somebody else. All right.
He has a better career than me. But he was also in House. That's right. Really old horror movie.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was also the voice of Two-Face on the 90s Batman cartoon.
Oh, see, that's a good credit right there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
The most respected cartoon of our time. But no, I am an actor though, even though you were just trying to make fun of me, but that's fine.
Oh, good.
If you make a tall joke about Kyle, he just rolls his eyes. He's so over it by now.
Right. One time when so I met Cole through a Zoom show that I was hosting twice a week at the height of the pandemic. And there's this one time we had a comic on the show who was 6'8" and British. So my instinct was, as I had to ask, like, okay, does anyone ask if you played Chewbacca? And they were like, "Roar!" Like, I can't do the Chewie voice, but he did a perfect impression of Chewbacca.
I think I remember that. I think it was on that show, actually. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he's a comic based out of LA, but yeah, originally from Birmingham, England.
It's weird. During the pandemic, I did a bunch of online shows. You didn't have me on. What's your problem?
I mean, we did 110, and then my partner Dan Anderson just kind of burned out. So we
Holy shit!
yeah. I mean, again, we did it twice a week for about a year, and then we did it once a week for about 3 months, and then, well, actually, Dan and I both had some personal stuff we had to tend to, but we thought we were going to put it on pause depending on how the pandemic was going, and we ended up just never picking it up again. But hey, we did 110 shows, and they're almost all of them are on YouTube.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, let me put that. Let me talk about that for a second, real quick.
Sure. Yes.
My whole fucking. There we go. All right. My whole computer is just not working now all of a sudden. But I have a virus, I'm sure. But Stu, I really do appreciate that you did that. That you hosted yourself. You know, I have the opinion that Zoom comedy, it was like a medium just for the time of all of us being shut down and locked up and put in our houses, and you know what? But I don't think that's what that was made for. I don't think continuing that now, it honestly gave us all more camaraderie, and we all hung out and we all know each other now. But
sure.
Jesus Christ, with some of that shit's so dumb. Like, not that the jokes are dumb and the comics are dumb. It just, that is not, that was not like it killed the joke a lot of the time. It took the power away from it. But I'm so glad that you did that, because I think that kept a lot of us alive. Honestly, a lot of us comics.
Of course, yes.
So I appreciate you and many others. There's Brooke Barcel, Ryan Weiss, many others all across the whole country who did that. Even the world. There's a few. I hopped on one that was in Russia. I didn't realize it was in Russia until I got on. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be funny here because I don't even speak the language. But
right.
I met so many people do that because of that.
You're a war criminal now.
There was an English Russian show. There was also a Japanese show, but they were all like too early in the morning for me to bother getting up. But like, also I had when I was working is when I found out about those shows, so it like fucked it. But
we did a all Europe show, and to accommodate this, we did it at a special day and time. Normally, we did our show on Sundays and Wednesdays, and for a show that we did that were all comics based in Europe, we did it at noon on a Saturday, noon Chicago time on a Saturday, because that's 6 p.m. in London.
Yeah.
So we had comics that were on the time that we would normally be on, which was 7 p.m. You know, depending upon where you are in Europe, because you know, Western Europe, like England and Spain, at 6 p.m., like, you know, France and Scandinavia at 7 o'clock. That I think ended up being our least watched show, because who's watching comedy in Chicago at noon on a Saturday? Everyone's going on. I mean,
you tried something different, right? So
we did, yeah. I would say, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of noble experiments to what we were doing. Yes.
No, it was a good, like, yeah, I do know somebody that still does like the online show currently. She kept with it, but it was necessary at the time, but it's not the best medium. Like, because
Erica Schwarzkopf?
Sorry?
Erica Schwarzkopf?
No.
Oh.
This could be a really horrible game if we start.
No, it's fine. I mean, I know there's still
anybody
out there.
But no.
How doesn't know anybody worth knowing, Stuart, for the record?
Yeah, that's why I hang out with Cole.
Yeah, that's it. Just me and our friend.
Somebody not worth knowing. But no, they were all really.
You know, was going to come back to me.
And they were necessary, obviously. Like, I agree with Cole, but like now, yeah, the medium is like they were kind of shit, like, in a sense, because it's like you can't hear the laughter, or you can, and then somebody's always not able to hear something. So
yeah, it's kind of
somebody's talking in the background. Like, it's always somebody's cat, somebody's child. Somebody has to like run because, like, you know, they're like mentally disabled uncle is setting the house on fire. Like, there was so much going on, you know. So
yes. Oh, that reminds me. So we did an all Iowa show towards the beginning of our run. I think, well, not the very beginning, but let's say like about 3 weeks in. And I remember like the first comic that we had, like about 8 minutes into her set, like her boyfriend walks into the kitchen and they just start arguing, just like on this live Zoom feed. That just like they're just like bickering. I have no idea if they're still together.
That's kind of
Yeah.
awesome though. Like you don't get that at a
Yes.
comedy club. Like shit, man. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that was probably the one of the highlights of our 110 shows.
I wish you had a link for that. I would show that right now, but
I have to picture him for that. Yeah, if I had thought of it, sorry.
nah, that's all good, man. That's hilarious though.
Yeah. And then well, one other thing. So on top of the Second City review, I also wrote and produced a solo sketch show in 2017. However, I have misplaced the video from that. I have misplaced the clip of that show. If I had found it in time, I probably would have included a selection. Otherwise, I mean, you could just have me back, and I'll, once I find it, and we can, dissect all the sketches in that thing.
Oh yeah, we have no problems at all bringing people back on, especially if you come up with any new material and stuff like that. We definitely can re-invited always. If you want to, like, if you reach out to me, even if you like, oh, I have a bunch of new stuff. Do you mind? Yeah, we'll totally do that for you.
Doesn't really need to be new. I think you have enough in the bank for a few too. So like,
right.
so like, you only have like 11 years worth of shit, but you're like, write some new stuff.
Yeah, right.
That too. Yeah, if you have you said you have a bank, so
I know comics have been doing the same 5 minutes since like 2008. So it's like, that's why I'm just always generating material, even though 95% of it ends up just being strictly online.
No, I appreciate that, because that's kind of what I do, and I feel like it might hold me back a bit. But then I see people and they're doing it like, fuck, I've seen a dude do the same 5 minutes 5 years later, and I'm just like, all right. I'm like, the world's bored with this. Maybe you should move on, but like, whatever.
I'm that comic already. That's me.
What?
I'm the guy that tells the same jokes over and over and over again.
For 5 years?
For 5 years. Yeah, that's me.
I have a friend. She's fantastic, but she's like got a fantastic 10. And then she's like, and she'll do great. And I'll be like, good job. And she's like, it's the same 10. She's like, she's over it, but she travels the fucking world. She's a good human. And she's the one actually I was talking about the roast. She does roast. I guess the only time she writes stuff is when she's fucking roasting people, and she just.
That sounds like a mean woman, but okay.
She's actually so fantastic. Sorry.
I was gonna say, it kind of almost sounds like Nikki Glazer.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
she
not gonna
crushed
say
it. She crushed it. So.
Oh, she really did.
Pretty good at it. Stu, we have one last segment, and this is mostly my own thing where I come up with a really dumb question. Sure. That's a really weird question. What is something that most people genuinely enjoy, but it kind of pisses you off? Like, what's something that you can think of that pisses you off that's pretty normal for most people to enjoy?
This is going to be harder to narrow down.
Well, being from Chicago, I gotta say ketchup on hot dogs.
There you go. All right, that's a great answer.
For me, it's the Chicago style.
Hot dogs
I have the mustard, the relish, the diced tomatoes, not ketchup, the sliced tomatoes, the sport peppers, the celery salt. Yeah, it's I'm probably forgetting the ingredient, but just something about the hot dog truly being a sandwich and what you put on it. You put it through the garden. It's like I see people put ketchup, no matter where I am in the country, whether I'm in Chicago or I'm catching like a minor league baseball game in like Norfolk, Virginia, or something like that. Or actually, I'm going to Beloit, Wisconsin this weekend. Like, I see people put ketchup on a hot dog, and I still get like a little grossed out. It's like, come on, man, are you 5 years old?
It's disgusting. I don't like ketchup at all, actually. As a legitimate like chef, I hate ketchup. Ketchup is the most disgusting thing ever. It's candied tomatoes, in my opinion. Yeah. It's not good.
Well, you're not wrong. Also,
now, I gotta ask you this: what do you dip your fries in?
Ranch, if I have it, like a good buttermilk ranch. Like, usually I don't even dip my fries. I like my fries the way they are. If you put the right amount of salt on it, it's good. You don't need dip a lot of the time. I'm not a big dip guy, you know. If it's there, I'll have it, but I'm not gonna ask. Actually, I'm not one of those people at Chick-fil-A. Can I get some sauce? No, I'm fine.
I tried fries with Thousand Island dressing once, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I might try that.
So you don't like ketchup at all either?
Well, I mean, I like ketchup with my fries. That's about it. Every now and then I'll put ketchup on a burger, but absolutely not on a hot dog. That's just ungodly.
But you think it's disgusting, or it also pisses you off, or both?
Let's say 50-50.
I like an anger aspect at really minute, stupid shit, and like I'm very pro that, and it's just like I love your answer of yeah, ketchup on hot dogs because that's fucking stupid, and I love it. It's totally worth getting angry for.
So that might be our question, our official question, Kyle. For now on, what pisses you off that everybody loves? All right.
A takedown piece of something people love. Taylor Swift.
Shit. You guys can find Kyle. Oh, Kyle. Stuart. See, I'm already fucking it up right at the end.
Out completely.
Right. There we go.
Yeah, we do this too.
Yep, that's my Twitter or X. I don't want a dead name, but yes, that's my
dead name. Yeah, so you can find Stuart at X, or formerly known as Twitter, at HeyStu818. We follow each other because we're cool like that.
Yep, and also I recommend following Megan Strickland. She's a comedy friend of mine. I've known her for 12, 13 years. She's also worth a follow, just saying.
Megan Strickland, good to know. Does she do sketches? I'll have to reach out to her.
She does sketch and stand-up, yes.
I recognize the name, so I feel like I probably follow her. But I can't think of
South Carolina, yes.
Sounds like
now I think she's in LA.
Then she probably won't want to do this show then.
Who knows?
But where else can we find you, Stu?
You can also find me on, well, actually the base for Stu News would be at facebook.com/Stu News, STUNEWS. I have the hashtag on the screen here. So just find me at facebook.com/Stu News. You could also find me at HeyStu818 on Blue Sky. And then I don't know how to change the screen name because it's under my Instagram handle, but you also find me on Threads at Oh Hi, Mr. Allard. Because I'm a substitute teacher for a living.
And you fell for the Threads trend, huh?
Yes.
You mean that half an hour that it was popular?
I got on there for a second too, and I was like, "This is dumb. I don't like this."
Aren't you just on there by default? But like, it's just like Mark Zuckerberg trying to take away Twitter. Like,
pretty much, yeah. I don't know.
Neither of them.
I'm kind of fed up with Twitter too, though. So like. I think text is just gone. I think text is a dead medium, or a dying medium now. Like everything's video. Now. Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's it.
I was betting the bank on words, you know? I was betting the words on just typing.
I love text. Don't get me wrong.
Years and years of keyboarding classes for fucking nothing.
Toll is a fan of words, just not reading them.
I like making words. I don't like reading them. Like, I don't know. Like I don't read ever, but I write fiction. Isn't that weird? So, you guys can catch us doing Generation Dan every Sunday. You can find our buddy Atlas do Nexus at night. I don't know when, but usually during the week. You can catch me every Saturday with my sister, the greatest goddamn show on air. You can catch me every other Saturday, I think this coming Saturday, with my son on Every Other Weekend Meals. And you can catch Kyle and our good buddy, Dino, the Genetic Marvel, doing Life of Giants. Is it every Monday, Kyle?
It is.
It is every Monday at what time?
7:30.
7
o'clock. 7 o'clock.
7-ish. PM Eastern, And then every Tuesday at 7:30-ish, you can catch me and Dino the Genetic Marvel, as previously mentioned, on Hammer and Cheese, where I get drunk and try to not cut my finger off. So yeah, Stu, if you cook or any of those sound interesting, definitely reach out to one of us. If you want to be on a guest, we're always looking for guests on any of those things. Yeah, Kyle, I keep calling you Kyle, and Kyle's right there. I don't know why.
Yes.
Stu, it's the single. What is it? Yeah, right. It's the single. What's the word? There's two syllables. It's a single. In there, there's not. There's one. It's Kyle. It's one syllable. I know English. Okay. I don't know what you speak in Canada, but I'm an American. I speak American. Stu, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. And you're always invited back. And I will say the Oki, is it Oki Yogi?
Yes.
The Oki Yogi. That was hilarious. Okay. It's funny because that's how I would do yoga for sure. I would take that class if you started it. Should think about turning that into a Zoom show.
All right. Well, I'll talk to the Sepulpa Park District.
Good to know. I don't. I won't rack the license. I just okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and peace the fuck out.